here with Badlands Paintball. Well, today we actually had another request, and this one being for scopes. People want to know about scopes, magnifiers, just how they work, what type of ones we carry. So I've actually got a few of our magnifiers and scopes here in front of me. Both are magnified red dot, straight up 3x magnifiers, as well as a completely long range scope. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of them and really which one would be best for you depending on your play type. So there's a lot to know about each of these, so come on in here guys, we'll take a little bit of a closer look. Alright everyone, so we're going to start off our look at scopes here with the least magnified of them all. And this example is the 2x42 magnified red dot. So the 2 means that this red dot is magnified 2 times, and the 42 is actually 42 millimeter width lens. So that's how you can always tell what you're getting with your scopes, everybody. The first number is always going to be the magnification, while the second number will be the width of the actual lens itself. Now this is a magnified scope, but really it's actually more of a magnified red dot, as this particular item projects a red dot onto the lens. But it is in fact magnified, so that makes it very unique. You do have a red or a green red dot on this particular sight, with your elevation and windage adjustments on the top and the side. You also do have these really nice flip up covers, along with some extra rails along the side for this red dot. Now this red dot, as well as all our other scopes here, will attach to your standard weaver rail or Picatinny rail platform. So really just like what you see on the side of this scope here is what you're going to be able to attach this piece to. So very cool sight. This particular scope, red dot, whichever you'd prefer, is going to be great for those guys who want a little bit of extra magnification, perhaps for sighting a little bit farther down range, but they are going to be a little more upfront type of player. You're not going to be able to shoot and see 200-foot ranges with this type of red dot. So if you are looking to shoot first strikes, for example, you'd want to be stepping up to something more magnified. If not, however, if you're more of a front runner but want a little bit of extra magnification, this 2x42 sight is absolutely great. Now, stepping up in terms of magnification, we can look into something more like our 3x magnifier here. And this one actually comes with a cantilever mount. So this mount is going to be great because it gives you a built-in riser rail. So it's going to raise this magnifier up off your gun, and it's going to allow you to see a lot more easily down the sight without affecting your mask. Now, this is a magnifier in that it doesn't have crosshairs or red dots. So what this is actually designed to do is be put behind your favorite red dot, but that's going to magnify it instead. A lot of guys don't like the distraction of the crosshairs, but they do want the ability to have that magnification. Well, this one will essentially magnify your favorite red dot. So if you have a reticle that you prefer, maybe a small crosshair or a dot with a circle around it, or maybe it's just a basic red dot, this will allow you to magnify it and give you that extra range. So this is a 3x overall magnification scope, and you can mount it directly behind your red dot via your cantilever mount. Very cool. Next one up is a little bit of a variant on that 3x magnifier. We have another 3x magnifier here, but this one actually has the hinged offset mount. So it allows you to press your button on the side here, and then this will actually open up and swing off to the side. Or of course you can slap it up in place. So this is very cool because just like your other magnifier, this particular magnifier is meant to go behind a red dot sight, but now you can have your red dot sight in front, your magnifier in the rear, and you can switch between magnified and unmagnified on the swap, on the fly I should say. So you can swap between those two on the fly. Very, very cool with just the switch of that little trigger right there. Bam, very sweet. Does come with some covers as well too to keep your lens nice and protected. And just like the other magnifier with cantilever there, you have a nice big viewing area and that really great 3x magnification. So definitely a wicked secure type of platform. So if you're one of those guys that wants to have that magnification but wants to be able to switch back and forth between unmagnified and magnified on the fly, this is the best way to do so. Very cool platform. Alright, now the last last item in our setup here is a full-on sniper scope. So for anybody looking to make some serious long-range engagements, this will be the scope for them. There's a lot of unique features to this scope. For one, you do have really nice covers here for your lens to keep it nice and clean. But in terms of performance, it's great. You do have a complete red, green, or blue crosshair that you can set up. So this does have a classic scope crosshair, but unlike a lot of scopes, you can actually light up that crosshair. So if you're in a darker wooded area, this scope is going to be great because you're still going to be able to see your crosshairs. Really cool feature about this one, as it does have a 32mm lens, but it has a ridiculous amount of magnification. This one you can actually adjust all the way from 3 times magnification all the way up to a 9 times magnification, and everywhere in between. So absolute adjustability. Really great for anybody who's going to want to be shooting, of course, very long range, but will at the same time might have some medium or close range engagements as well. Now at the front here, you also have a focus setting. So if you're finding at your longer ranges, you're starting to get a little bit blurry, you can also focus that sight as well. So really great that you've got complete focus for all ranges, as well as very long range magnification. Now you will want to get yourself some scope rings for this particular setup. You can check out our 1-inch Picatinny rings online or in stores, as this sight doesn't come with your ring mounts. So that's going to allow for a little bit more adjustability there, keep the cost down on the sight, but just make sure you go out and get yourself some 1-inch scope mounts just like this one here. Now once you have those scope mounts and you have your scope here, I highly recommend for a scope like this, you look into the first strike rounds. With a 9 times magnification, you're going to be able to reach out and touch people at that 200, 300, 400 foot range. So this scope is definitely designed for the true sniper out there. Somebody who wants to take their time, line up those shots, and you know what, make eliminations that nobody ever really thought were possible. So if you're the sniper, definitely look into that 32mm 3 to 9 times magnification scope. Alright everyone, so that sums up our video about our magnified red dots, straight out magnifiers, and our all-around scopes. Hopefully you guys know a little bit more about each one. You're going to be able to make a more educated choice about which might be best for you. Now if you do want to see any of these scopes or magnifiers, definitely come into any of our 9 locations across Canada. We do have each of these scopes in there, and there's going to be lots of employees more than willing to hook you up, set you up with the right one for you. Now like I always say, if you can't make it into the stores, please check us out in our Badlands Paintball.com website. That's www.badlandspaintball.com. You can go on there, you'll be able to see them all on there. And while you're online, definitely check out our Facebook and Twitter pages. I always say there's tons of promotions going on there, so it's a great chance to win some free stuff. Seriously guys, who doesn't like free stuff, right? So get on there and check it out. And of course, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you follow us on YouTube, comment, post up, tell us what you think. These are being requested, so if you do have anything that you want to see, anything you're curious about, let us know and we'll try to make it happen, alright? So hopefully this helped everybody. That's our video on scopes. Get on out there, grab yourself one, and see if you can make some long range eliminations that nobody even thought were possible. Have fun, guys.